fitted well?
Yeah, it's been good. It was a good time to have the break. The week off I think did everyone good, and just left lads to sort of a chance to refresh, and just a few of the lads had a few niggling injuries as well, so it just gave them 10 days to clear up. So it was good, and we came back in on Monday. We decided to leave Sunday off, came back in on Monday, and we're back and everyone's training and everyone's in good form. So second half of the season is kicking in, and obviously we know how tough it's going to be Friday night. We need to sort of, as I keep saying all along, keep our feet in the ground, keep working hard. I think we have a serious bunch of players, and but I suppose Limerick are after coming off the back of 3 wins before the break, and they're a dangerous side. They've said, and they've been saying in the press all week, that they felt that the night in Thomond Park, that they felt they should have got the result, and they're looking forward to coming down, and we need to be on our guard, and we need to play well, and we need to kick off and start the second half of the season like we ended the first, and so it's a huge game for us. It's another 3 points, and it's important for us to keep on the heath of Dundalk.
With the departures of Andy and Kevin Mulcahy, I know you're signing Josh O'Shea from UCC in the kind of holiday period, we call it. I suppose with the window opening on Tuesday, plans to get more people in.
Yeah, well, it's sort of a catch-22 in the sense that we lost Andy and in particular Kevin Mull, and obviously Josh has come in, and obviously I've known Josh a long time, and I'm delighted to get him in. And in attacking areas we've been restricted because obviously Elding is gone, Rafter is gone. Danny obviously had been missing more or less the first part of the season, so thankfully Danny's been back in action, training very hard. Obviously, while everyone was away for the week's holidays, Danny was going through the rigours of a week's training, which is it's good. I think he was fed up himself. He missed so much, so he's anxious to get back. So it's like Danny's an extra player we have back in. Obviously, Josh is in, and we've agreed already with someone to come in, which will be announced after the weekend. Another attacking player, which is good. So there's another possible one going to come back in, come into our panel, and that's where I suppose the situation, and everyone needs to be careful about it, is that we're second in the table for a reason. The guys at the club have worked extremely hard, and there's a fantastic attitude and a fantastic spirit amongst the players. And while the transfer window is open, as I said, like Josh has come in, we've one fella already agreed who's coming in. But really, we're not going to be bringing in 2 or 3 players, because they what I believe the mix and the spirit in the camp is fantastic, and I don't see a lot of remedial work to be done. I see a fantastic bunch of guys working very hard. I see the week they had off was a week to refresh themselves, to get going again, and I felt that we needed to strengthen the squad, which is what we're trying to do. And so I think the difference now is that basically we should have a much stronger squad for the second half of the season. That's what we need in case guys pick up suspensions or injuries and stuff like that, whereas in the first half of the season it was too tight. So as I said, another player will be announced next week. We can't officially sign until 1st of July, and maybe one other, that might be it. But that's where we're at. But if supporters are out there thinking that we're going to bring in another 3 or 4 players, not a chance, because it doesn't warrant that. And secondly, anyway, as I keep saying, the ethos of Force is to keep promoting from local players. And we've young Darren Murphy had been out injured. He's back in training with us. Probably is a bit off the mark, but still, training with the first team will be good for him. And plus the fact we don't have budgets. We don't have the budgets that Pat's having, and there's no way, that that Force or the board are going to go out and give extra money and break the budget. That's not going to happen, and so that's to be a bit of reality in the situation. But being honest, I'm quite happy, because we know what we've got. We've done exceptionally well, and I believe we're well capable of hanging in there.
Are you surprised, as much as I am and other people, by the reaction after the victory over Rovers? Suddenly people have realised that Cork City are second in the league, I noticed the Dublin papers contenders for the league this season. Up to then, it was like sleeping giants under the radar.
It doesn't. I don't really care about it. Maybe that's because I'm a lot older and a lot wiser than I was. Maybe when I first went into management, I was much more of a hothead, or how should I say? I was more willing to challenge and wanted my my teams at amateur level to get the credit they got, and when they didn't get it, I used to get upset. It doesn't bother me now, because at the end of the day, I've come to realise that it's all about winning trophies. And if you win trophies, it doesn't matter. And getting press or getting praise midway through the season or a third of the season gone or whatever, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, you want to be there at the end of the season. You want to be there, hopefully challenging for leagues, hopefully challenging for cup finals, and that's where your reward is. So I don't give a damn whether we get praise or don't get praise. I just want to see we're a Cork team, very strong local team, fantastic bunch of guys, with fantastic support, and I just want a team that the crowds come through the gate and they can see that these guys are absolutely fantastic players, willing to play for the club, and that the supporters can sense that, and I think they can. And I think they can sense that the management want to do everything in their power to make Cork a force again. So I really don't care what media outside of Cork think, and I don't really need any praise. I don't. As a group of people, I keep saying to lads, don't worry about it. The crucial thing is that when the honours are handed out at the end of the season, is can we be in there? Can we take one of those honours? Can we take one of those trophies? And then when that happens, well and good. We're mid-season. We've done fantastic. Hasn't surprised me. Someone might say, well, would you have expected at the break to be 3 points off Dundalk and a game in hand? I might have said maybe not, but I certainly expect us from the start of the season. I certainly expect us to be in there. I felt there's a lot of talent in the team, and I just felt there's a bit more passion and drive needed, and hopefully that's what we've got this year. But at the same time, it's only halfway. We've done nothing. We've just put ourselves in a position to challenge, and so I really don't care whether people take us as serious contenders or not. The most important thing is for us to keep our feet in the ground and approach every game as we have done, and just see, can we keep winning and hanging in there.
And is it up to you then to keep the pressure off the players, like in the quote-unquote title running now?
Well, I wouldn't say we're in a title running yet, Rory, to be fair. I think we're still only halfway. I think maybe if we get to the end of August and you go into the last 7-8 matches then, but I think we have a crucial 6-7 matches between now and the end of August that we must hang in there. The danger is you lose your focus and you start dropping points between July and August, and all of a sudden you end up 12, 14 points off the top, and then you're nowhere. So it's crucial for us that we look no further than Friday night. So it's not really about pressure, to be honest with you. It's every job you look at the Premier Division in Ireland, like 4 managers out of 12 have already lost their job. You see, it's just, the whole thing has gone probably. I feel that my own personal opinion is that boards of clubs, panic too much. Social media, well, it's a fantastic outlet. It has caused clubs to panic, and it really gives managers. How would you justify? Do you say, well, Mick Cook, who proved himself at Drogheda, got them to a couple of cup finals, won one cup final, got them second in the league, went at loan, took over a team a couple of weeks before the start of the season. Very difficult job. All right, he had a very bad start, but they were never hammered. They were desperately unlucky. He lost his job. His track record is good. Roddy has won a league and won a cup, whether you like him or don't like him. He's won a league and cup with Bohemians. He's very controversial, and but at the same time, look, would he have turned around? He may have. Derry felt he wouldn't. Robbie Horgan, another guy, has been assistant manager around for a long time. Unfortunately, took 2 very, very heavy defeats, and it was gone. And then you look at Barraclough and Sligo. How do you answer that? He wins the league. Sligo, last time they won the league was 35 years ago. I know Sligo quite well as a town. I keep saying for provincial clubs, very, very difficult to win the league. They won a league in 1977. He wins the league. He wins a cup. Wins the Stand Cup this year, and they want him out. So it's a bit daft. I think boards panic a bit too much, and then sometimes a lot of the social media and people are on social media a lot of times aren't necessarily supporters of the clubs, and a lot of times you wonder where a lot of the comments are coming from, and I don't get involved in it because you need to be positive, you need to have a clear head, and I think from a a genuine point of view. I think genuine people and genuine supporters of the club can see what's being done at clubs, in my opinion. And I think if they see that things are being done well and that the people in charge are doing the right thing and they're trying to do the right thing, well, I think it's okay. But there's enormous pressure on every one of us. But at the same time, it's, I suppose, I keep saying this, I was 30 years on the road, knocking on doors, selling around, and a lot of pressure on Monday morning, getting up, having to make sales here, there and everywhere. And, I must admit, coming in, into Cork City every morning is a fantastic opportunity for myself, and putting on a tracksuit, going in, training the guys. So it's a welcome pressure, I can assure you that.
Living the dream.
Living the dream. That's what my wife tells me anyway.
You must be happy that you're at home as well Friday after the break, and the club have done a great job of promoting the game with the bringing kid for a quick campaign and stuff like that.
Yeah, and look, to be fair, the marketing of the club has been fantastic. I suppose it's just that situation that you're in the middle of holiday period, you're in the middle of GA season. We all know in Cork, the sports follows everything, and it's one of those ones that, I suppose, you have the hurlers, in the hurling final, the football in the football final, 2 massive games come up in Cork. So thankfully we're up first, and we're away for the following 2 weeks. 2 weeks when they're at home. But I'm just appealing and hoping that the crowd, that the people will come out in huge numbers, because I think still, even with the mid-season break, sometimes people aren't realising that we're back straight away again. And it's that this Friday, even around me locally, people are surprised. I thought we were off for another week, not realising that we're back Friday night. So I'm just urging that Friday night the crowd come out in big numbers, because we're away for the 2 weeks after that, and hopefully that because the fans this year has been fantastic, the atmosphere has been fantastic, and definitely it's had a huge impact on us at home.
It has raised the opposition as well. Everybody we talk to from visiting teams, they want to play in tournaments across in front of big crowds. And it kind of raises their game as well, doesn't it?
Well, it does. Of course it does. But at the same time, it's our people, it's our supporters, and at the end of the day, and we've often spoken about this outside. Do you want to be out there every week, having pressure on you, playing in front of 3,500, 4,500, 5,000 people, or do you want to go back to playing mid-table in front of 1,300, 1,400 people? What do you want? Any player worth the salt wants to be playing every week with pressure, trying to win, and that's what we're about, and that's what we're trying to achieve. And thankfully, so far this season, things have been good, and the guys have bought into it.
Apart from Michael Rafter, we know he's over the season. We call him Darren Murphy Senior.
Yes.
Is he making progress?
Yes, Darren Murphy has had a series of injuries. He hurt himself in UCD and came back a couple of weeks after that to training and broke down one day. But he said we were advised to give him an extended break until the mid-season break, and that he would be okay. And he's got the all clear. He's back actually training with us tomorrow, and he looks in great condition. I'm hoping that his injuries are behind him. He needs to be strong. We need to be strong, because he has really played, I think, 3 matches, hasn't featured with us at all. He's a big player. He's 6'4", gives us options in centre back, gives us options in midfield, but he just hasn't been involved that often. So I'm hoping that he will come back into the fold and be another new signing for us as such. But I suppose I have been a bit disappointed in the way the situation has worked out for him, because I certainly would have expected him to be a lot more involved, and it hasn't happened. So hopefully he has been given the all clear. He had quite a few injuries, and I've been told that medically he's totally cleared up. So that's why I'm banking on that he's another fella back in the squad.
Makes your job harder, doesn't it? Danny coming back, he coming back, Josh training. I know it gives you more options, but
yeah, being honest, I wouldn't say it makes my job harder. I suppose it's where you want to be at. I personally, I don't have any problem. What I believe in making the decisions in the sense that I have always, and I think John Cotter would vouch for this, I will always go with what I think is the best team. I don't get involved in personalities. As I look at it, all the players in the club are fantastic guys. I like them to bits. But at the same time, on Friday night I want to put out a team that I think can beat Limerick. And some guys will be disappointed to have the likes of Danny back, even have Darren Murphy back. I want them back because I want to have those options, because at the end of the day, that's what we need to stay in there. That's what we need when there's changes to be made. That's what we need if a guy gets suspended, if a guy loses form. We need the options, and the more top quality players I have, the happier I am, because it gives you maybe it gives you more options. But making that decision is, as I keep saying, that's, you know, I look forward to making those tough decisions. But the way I feel about it is, it's picking the team for the day that you think is going to get the result. And you probably can see I don't chop and change too much. I like consistency. I like guys to feel confident. Frustrating sometimes for the guys around the sideline, but at the same time they know that if they get in and they do well, the chances are they're going to stay in. So that's just the way it is.
Well, Danny, we believe you enjoyed your day off.
Yeah, I was in doing a bit of extra training while the lads are all on holidays, but don't mind doing it. I've missed a lot, so don't mind doing the extra training. And
thrilled to get back into the team the night against St. Martin's. We're on about 2 or 3 minutes and a goal.
Yeah, I was just happy to be back in the pitch with the lads playing. I think I was nearly 5 months out injured. Just happy to be back in training with the lads, and hopefully I can get back in the team soon.
How did you feel after that game physically?
Felt a bit blown after the game. I think I played 35 minutes. Felt a bit stiff the next day, but that's going to happen. I've been so long out, but hopefully my body can get used to that now.
How close would you say you are to 100% fitness now?
2 weeks.
Yeah.
2 weeks.
And you're saying 5.5 months on the sidelines. I mean, like, how have you been able to kind of deal with the frustration of not being out there with the boys, even in training week in, week out?
Yeah, it's been tough. I was told to start, I'd be back for start of the season. And then it was dragging on, and then I was out with the physios every day. It was not like we weren't doing anything. Wasn't getting any better, and then we hit a turning point. I was out in the Mardyke with physio working 3 times, 4 times a week, and then we hit a turning point, and I've been out to the lads now nearly a month, 3 weeks, 4 weeks training, so just happy with that. So
it's almost like you're through your pre-season campaign in mid-season.
Yeah, when I went back training with the lads, I was well behind in fitness. I was blown after every training, but I've been doing a bit now out in Ballincollig with the strength and conditioning coach as well, so it's all good.
And do you feel you're mixing out a physical level now with the rest of the boys at this point?
Yeah, I'm doing sessions out in Ballincollig two times a week, upper body sessions, and then doing a bit of running during the holidays with the assistant manager Cots. So yeah, it's good.
And was it particularly frustrating for you in that you had a major breakthrough in the second half of last season? You would have been thinking, no doubt personally, right? Obviously the mid-term finished disappointed, but you were well set for, this was going to be your big season.
Yeah, I just wanted this season get back to how I finished last season. And then I think it was the 3rd day of pre-season, the injury happened, and it was very frustrating. It was 5 months, but that's what I want to get back to how I finished last season, was scoring goals.
And when you were playing underage, would you ever had any kind of major injuries or anything kind of keep you for any period?
Done my ankle when I was at Middleton, but that was my other ankle, and done my both hamstrings last year. That's about it.
So and how did you keep the focus in that, like when there was kind of no diagnosis coming through, saying, I know obviously the original touch you'll be back in time for season, but there's kind of no end in sight. It must be very hard just to keep the mind going.
It was tough, but the physios, I was working with them, as I said, 3-4 times a week. They told me I would be back. Got 3 scans. There was not really showing up in the scans, so we didn't really know what it was. And then, when I went out to the Mardyke to the physio, he got me back on track, and it's been all go since there.
And is there an extra incentive to kind of kick back in that? I mean, last year you came in slightly low pressure environment, and that the team obviously wanted to get back, get going well, but I mean, it wasn't challenging for silver, they were challenging for the league. This is kind of bigger crowds, there's a bit more focus on the club, there's more profile.
Yeah, I think there was no pressure on me last year. I missed half season last year and came into the squad. People didn't really know who I was.
Yeah.
The lads are flying. Marky, they're all doing brilliant. Everyone's chipping in with goals. Billy. So I just want to get in there and get a few goals and help out the lads.
And it's kind of a different buzz, I suppose, to be getting and playing, in front of that 4,000 or 5,000 crowd,
yeah,
that Shamrock Rovers.
We didn't have them crowds last year. We didn't have the big crowds. The fans have been absolutely brilliant this year. The first game of the season against Pats, I was disappointed, missed out with the crowd, some atmosphere, but the crowd have been brilliant this year. The crowds are there, and something I'm looking forward to playing in front of.
Would you be close to say maybe making the bench for the game on Friday, do you think?
Hopefully, fingers crossed. I leave that to John.
You enjoyed obviously playing with Ed and the bit from the Killock here on to Duff.
Yeah, I think we would have loved to have him here this season, but with his contract with Shamrock Rovers, that wasn't his decision. But Mark has been absolutely brilliant. Not many people thought Mark would be able to do it, but I think he's been one of the best players this season. He's so good in the air, his quality. Like Killer, he's very good in the air, and I'm looking forward to being able to play off him. He's fantastic.